Good day, mate. This is a reaction one of three for way back Greg. And let's see what does he say? Here's three classics from three of Ozzy's divas, and he says the last request was a fair dinkum ripper. Cheers. Yeah, I think I got that right. All right, y'all. So this first one is Jessica Mauboy singing "Flame Trees." It's a classic Cold Chisel song. It's one of my favorite songs. I mean, I didn't even know it existed, but now, so I'm looking forward to her singing it because I really dig when Jimmy Barnes sings it as Cold Chisel. So yeah, let's get into the intro and right into this video, y'all. Here we go.
Kids are driving Saturday afternoon, pass me by. I'm just savoring familiar sights. We share some history, this town and I can't stop that long forgotten feeling of him. Time to book a room and stay tonight. Number one is to find some friends to say you're doing well. After all this time, you boys look just the same. Number two is the happy hour at the one of the two hotels. Settling's a play, do you remember so and so? Number three is never say his name. And all the flame trees will blind the weary driver. And there's nothing else could set fire to this town. And there's no change, there's no pace. Everything within its place just makes it harder to believe that he won't be around.
Okay, got to pause it. So yeah, man, she's doing a good job on Flame Trees. You know, if you listen to the late 70s, early 80s version with Jimmy Barnes and Cold Chisel singing Flame Trees, it almost sounds like Jimmy's living what, you know, he's just telling you that he's actually doing it. That's what I see or how I feel when he sings it. And, you know, on a personal note, that I come from a real small town in southeast Oklahoma, and it's in McCurtain County, if y'all want to look it up on the map. And right now it's turned into a resort area up there because of what is called Beaver's Bend Park. You know, I don't know. I think it's a state park, but Broken Bow Lake is another name for it. And then we actually lived, you know, probably another 50 miles. I mean, I'm 45 to 50 miles probably north of Broken Bow in a place called Baptiste, Oklahoma. Battiest. And my graduating class had just a little over 20 people in it. And I just recently, you know, I go up there. You know, my parents are no longer alive, so their graves are up there. And I go up there on my dad's birthday and then on my mother's birthday, and it makes me go up there so I can clean the graves and weed and do that to make the gravesite there in the cemetery, taken care of. Lord, I don't know what's going to happen to it once I get too old to do that. There's no one else that's going to pick up that slack. So it'll be up to the cemetery association. They'll keep it mowed, the area is mowed and the trash picked up and things of that nature. But there won't be anybody going up there and picking, cleaning those graves. And then after I get done there, then I drive, through the old back roads that, when I was a teenage boy, growing up and enjoying it with my friends. It's not flame trees, but it's the same feeling. We don't have and they still don't have a hotel up there. They don't have a red light. For a long time, they didn't have a stop sign, but they do now in a couple places. One paved road going in, and it dead ends down at Cleabit, and then all the roads that come off of that one little like a lane and a half paved road. After all those roads that take off of that are all dirt roads, and that's what I grew up on. So I can, and not only that, so because we only had a little over 20, we had less than 30 people graduate. I don't know exact number now. I used to, but I don't recall the exact number of kids that graduated in 1978. But we would date. Everybody knew everybody. It's not like you met somebody new. No one moved in there. It was just a logging community. That's all they did was logging. And but going home, the reason why I tell you all this is because now when I consider that home, even though I've lived in Texas most of my life, and I've put down roots here. My kids live here. My wife is born and raised here, right here in this little town, and so I consider myself a Texan through and through. But when I go home, it is relaxing to me, to go to the creeks and the rivers and the bluffs and the mountains of the pine trees, and to smell the smells that smelled exactly like they did 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Everything's the same. Hardly anything's changed in my hometown. Leading into it, Broken Bow's all changed because it's all got all kinds of cabins and things like that to support that tourism to that lake, but not where I'm from. So I maybe told you all more than you wanted to hear, but I brought that up because not only is she singing this wonderfully, got a wonderful voice. I've reacted to Jessica Mauboy before, and I'm a fan. But this particular song, I guess when I heard Coach Chisel sing it and Jimmy Barnes, it really just took me back to where I come from. Even though it's a continent away, it's a hemisphere away, it's still the same thing, man. What goes on with you guys in Australia is no different than what goes on with us in the U.S. in these small towns. So let's get back to it. Sorry, y'all.
Be around. Who needs that sentimental stuff anyway? Yeah. It takes more than just a memory to make me cry. And I'm happy just to sit here around a table with a friends, and see which one of us can tell the biggest lies. And there's a girl, she's falling in love near where the piano stands, with a young local factory half worker just holding hands. And I'm wondering if you go, if you stay. Do you remember to this town. And there's no change, there's no pace. Everything within its place just makes it harder to believe that he won't be around. Thank you.
All right, man. So there you go. Jessica Mauboy giving her interpretation of the Cold Chisel song Flame Trees. If y'all hadn't heard it, you know, some of my listeners are not from Australia. And if that's the case, y'all might want to look up, you know, it's here on my channel too, where Cold Chisel, not Cold Trees, Cold Chisel is singing it. But Jessica Mauboy put a new spin on it, you know, more of a modern spin, and she did it justice. You know, I mean, it's, you know, we all want to stay in our own decade of music, I guess, and anybody that comes along and tries to improve on our music usually gets met with hostile reaction, and I don't think they should, to tell you the truth, because this young lady got a brilliant voice. I don't know what show this was on. It doesn't say here. No. But Jay, man, she got up there and she did it justice in her way. All right, y'all. So after I don't have a whole lot to say. I mean, I rambled on in the middle of this thing about my hometown. So I hope maybe y'all fast forwarded through that part. You get tired of hearing me ramble on, but yeah, I don't. So I never know what's going to trigger what when I do these reactions. So sometimes I start saying stuff and then get off, you know, in left field and talk about graves and keeping things together as a son. But anyway, that's what we do. All right, y'all. Till I see you again, I'll catch y'all down the road. Bye, y'all.